Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA DFS content, prize picks content, all these videos that get posted on this subreddit right here. Can you guys see this? Yeah, you can. Okay. They get posted on this subreddit right here. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. You can ask me questions about the slate, all that good stuff. Incredible that there's a ton of you playing DFS on Easter. I love it. Hopefully you guys had a great Easter today. If you were with family, loved ones, etc., hopefully you had a good time. The young ones, etc., hopefully you had good times, finding candy, all that good stuff. So, yeah, without further ado, let's just get into my lineups, and then we will go over this nice 6-game slate for tomorrow, the 1st of April. If you're looking for more DFS content, you can, I'll have all of my Discord link down below. I give you guys cores, videos, main slate, night slate, showdown, all that good stuff. So I'm in a bunch of contests tonight, but we will just look at just this one. She's messaging me. All right, so I had 2 lineups today. All of them cashed. All of them did pretty good. So my core today, I gave a core of 5 today. The core today was Chetty Osman, he smashed. Cam Payne was a core play, he smashed. Kelly Oubre was a core play, he smashed. Victor Wembanyama was a core play, he smashed. Malachi Branham was a core play, he smashed. So really good core overall. And then my favorite GPP play on the slate was Stephen Curry, and he smashed. So that was good. It was pretty solid day overall. My other lineup, Patrick Baldwin. Are we serious? Unbelievable stuff by Patrick Baldwin tonight, but luckily that lineup got into the cash as well. But yeah, pretty straightforward slate for me personally. I thought the chalk today was very good. Looks like people finally caught on to Cam Thomas. He's been unowned every single slate, and today finally chalk. That's unfortunate, but he has made us a decent amount of money not being popular every single slate. Now tomorrow, I think he'll probably be popular, but let's get into the 6-game slate. So, looking at the Nets minutes from tonight, I finally did bet on Nicholas Claxton on sportsbooks, and they went to Trendon Watford. So that was fun. But looking at the minutes tonight, Cam Thomas, he's going to play big minutes no matter what. Like, he'll play in the fourth during a blowout too. So like, he's very safe. Mikal's going to play big minutes. First game, I believe it was his first game. Cam Johnson came back. That might have been second or first. Came off the bench, played 20 minutes. Trendon Watford 30 minutes. I was shocked by that. Dennis Schroeder, 28, and then, yeah, Claxton. Good spot here going up against the Pacers. I mean, I like Cam Thomas quite a bit once again here. It's just a minutes thing. It's his role in this team. He has such a larger role in this team. He is their go-to guy right now. He is probably going to shoot the ball 20-plus times. Like the spot. It's a pace-up spot here for Brooklyn. He's not priced up enough. He should be an 8K player right now, in my opinion. So you're still getting him at a discount. I think he looks really solid here. I have a feeling he's probably going to be popular tomorrow. So your pivot in GPPs, if you want to pivot, would be a guy like Mikal Bridges, who I still have interest in at 7K. I personally do prefer Cam Thomas, but Mikal still firmly in play. He'll do a bit more stat sheet stuffing than Cam Thomas will, but Cam Thomas obviously is going to be much more, much higher ceiling, I should say. But will probably be a bit more popular than Mikal. But I think both are solid options. Claxton, I mean, he goes from playing 40 minutes to randomly playing 26 minutes tonight. I believe he got into some foul trouble early on up against AD. I'm not entirely sure there, but I would expect him to possibly go back to his normal minutes here. If he does, he's a good play, but after what I saw tonight, maybe a bit more riskier. Dennis Schroeder's just there for me. Stat sheet stuffer, should play over 30 minutes. Just fine. It's like a filler piece for me at 6.3K. He probably has the worst matchup for all these guys. Cam Johnson, I think, is priced right. Dorian Finney-Smith is playable. Trendon Watford should be in the rotation. He has gotten big minutes of late, but we do have Cam Johnson back, but he is playable. I don't know if I go to much else here, though. I think it's, favorite plays here are definitely Cam Thomas. If you think Claxton goes back to his normal run, I'm intrigued there. And Mikal Bridges. Moving on to the Indiana Pacers. I think Halliburton's a good contrarian setup. He's going to be low owned every single slate just because, he hasn't been performing to his earlier season standards. So I don't mind it as far as spend ups goes. Looking at the spend ups on the slate, I mean, DeJounte Murray looks good. Outside of that, I think like Zion's up there is one of my favorite spend ups. I think DeMar looks good. I think Cade is going to be one of the better spend ups tomorrow. So don't have too many good, you don't have like the Lukas, the Giannis, the Jokic's on this slate, right? So Halliburton, yeah, definitely intrigued for tournaments. Siakam at 8.2K. I'd personally rather get up to Halliburton, even though Siakam's been a lot more consistent of late. Good rebounder with double-double upside. I don't mind the spot here. I personally prefer Halliburton, though. Miles Turner is a very, very similar play to Nicholas Claxton for me. Should play around 30 minutes. Has a ceiling. I think they're both kind of like Spider-Man GIF. Definitely very, very similar. I do give the edge to Claxton, though, personally. Neesmith with no Mathurin should play big minutes. He's fine as like a filler play for me. He'll be low usage, but if he does hit his shots, he does have a ceiling. He'll play big, big minutes as well. Fine as like a filler piece. And then T.J. McConnell's priced right, but I mean, he's going to be very, very productive while he's on the court. If no more value opens up, sure, you can go there, but I have a feeling we'll have better value when we're talking about these games. Nembhard at 4.6K, just there for me. Another fine filler value if you need it. I prefer TJ, honestly, straight up to Nembhard. And then Jalen Smith is a playable value. Should get the backup 5. Moving on to Boston. So if everyone's in, I mean, everyone at their price points, I think Kristaps Porzingis is the guy I'd be looking to if I were to go to anyone here. It would be either Tatum or Porzingis, probably my favorites. Really good spot here for Porzingis. He should be able to feast. I like him quite a bit in the mid-range on this slate. He's the one Celtics that hasn't gotten really priced up from everyone being out because he's been out the most. So I am pretty high on Kristaps Porzingis in GPPs tomorrow. I think Tatum's a good spend up as well. I prefer Porzingis point per dollar though. And like I said, Tatum's good. Jaylen Brown's fine. I prefer Porzingis personally. Derek White, I think, is priced right. Drew Holiday at 6.4K probably looks a bit better than Derek White point per dollar, but Derek White is definitely better than Drew Holiday straight up. But no standouts here. They're all solid plays to me, but I'm not going to go out of my way to play any of them. I think Porzingis is definitely the one that I'd be the most intrigued by to go to. I don't know if I get to any of this value here, though. Now, if they're both out, then we'll probably get Hauser and Al Horford in the starting lineup. They could do it. I guess they could do different things, but if that's the case, Al Horford at 5.8K should play big minutes. Stat sheet stuffer. 5.8K, be very, very safe play. He'd be a decent play. I'd really, really like Tatum at 10K. Derek White, Drew Holiday would both be very solid plays. You'll see a bit more Pritchard. He'd be in play. Sam Hauser. He'd be a good value. Probably see a bit more of the bigs, Cornette, etc. So there'd be a good amount to like here if they're both out. Moving on to Charlotte, not a good matchup here, but we finally saw the Miles Bridges ceiling game. He finally had a good game tonight in a tough matchup going up against the Clippers. Could he do that tomorrow? I mean, listen, the good thing with Miles Bridges is he's going to play over 40 minutes in competitive games, right? He'll play 35 plus in a blowout too. That's the one good thing. It's just absolute treacherous matchup here going up against Boston. I'm still intrigued by him just because the price point's down, but nothing more than a tournament player for me. I do prefer him to Brandon Miller, though. I think the guards here look intriguing in Man and Micic. I prefer Micic to Man. I believe both ended up with pretty good stat lines tonight. Or Micic did. I don't think Man did. Yeah, Micic went for 10, 13, and 5. Played 35 minutes. Man went for 9, 5, and 2. Keep an eye on Pokusevski. If he's out, it's going to be more solidified minutes for guys like Grant Williams, Bertans. I think Grant Williams is actually decent value at 4.4K. And then not much else here. Bertans would be playable at 3.4K. No standouts here though. Pretty disgusting team if you ask me. I don't know if I prioritize or go to anyone. There's like passable last pieces in for me here, but yeah, pretty gross. Moving on to Portland. Jeremy Grant doubtful, Kamara out, Thibault out. So last game they went with a starting lineup of Scoot Henderson, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Murray, Jabari Walker, Ryan Rupert. Not a good spot going up against Orlando, but I think you still have to have interest in these guys because they played in blowout as well. I believe it was like a 50-point game and they all played blowout besides Ayton. Yeah, more than 50 points. Because, look, Jabari Walker played 34 minutes. He was in till the blowout. Chris Murray played 42 minutes. They just don't have bodies right now. Ryan Rupert, I believe, played over 30 minutes. So 26 there. What else? Banton played 30 minutes. Scoot played in the blowout. He played 41 minutes, crushing the blowout. So although it's a really, really bad matchup, I still think you have to have interest in these guys. Jabari Walker, if he starts again, now his rates at the 4 compared to the 5 are a lot worse. So he's not going to be as good as point per minute as he was if he was going to play the 5. But I still do like him for value at 4.4K, assuming he does start again. Rupert's playable. Chris Murray, I think, is solid at 4.6K. And then I like Scoot, I like Ban. But ownership's going to decide on what I want to do with both Scoot and Ban. Orlando's just a very, very tough team to want to target, right? But I think both are decent, especially with Matisse Thybulle out. Scoot definitely safer than Ban. And then Ayton's playable, but don't love it. But yeah, definitely some decent plays on Portland. Let's move on to Orlando. So if you think this game does stay competitive, I think the guys you want to look to here are Wendell Carter Jr. and one of or both. I probably wouldn't play both Paolo and Franz, but like I think Wendell Carter Jr. and Franz Paolo are your best plays here, in my opinion. Wendell Carter Jr. was on pace for actually pretty big minutes last game. Mo Wagner got benched. I believe Wendell Carter Jr. had like 19 first half minutes last game. I don't know if we can expect that to happen again, but he did get pulled because of the blowout, but not a bad point per minute guy. It's a phenomenal matchup here going up against Portland. I like him quite a bit. I think Franz and Paolo are both playable. I prefer Franz given the price points. Suggs kind of there is just like a last piece in type deal for me. And I like Isaac for value at 4.2K. She'll play around 20 minutes. Sometimes they'll close with him. Really good point per minute guy. I don't mind that. I'm not going to play the bigs with Isaac back. We do have Gary Harris back, so that's going to be a downgrade to the guards. They're all priced right. Main interest here is Wendell Carter Jr. and the top two guys. All right, good matchup here for Memphis. I like this team quite a bit. So first off, Aldama is doubtful, upgraded. Okay, and Conchar is doubtful. Keep an eye on the Aldama news. So last game, the starting lineup of Scottie Pippen Jr., Luke Kennard, Jake LaRavia, Jaren Jackson Jr., and G.G. Jackson. So if we get a similar situation to last game, I think there's a good amount to like here. First off, Scottie Pippen Jr. should play mid-20s minutes. Really good point per minute guy. He got into foul trouble last game. That's why you saw Goodwin get extended. I like him quite a bit at 5.4K. G.G. Jackson in a phenomenal spot. Should play big minutes. I think he's a decent option. Jaren Jackson Jr., this game should hopefully stay competitive. He has an insane ceiling. I like him in GPPs. Goodwin should see run at 4.5K. Make sure he's available, though. And then LaRavia at 5K should see decent run. He's firmly in play. And I like Brandon Clark once again for value. Has seen 20 minutes back-to-back games. We know Brandon Clark is a really good point per minute guy, good rebounder, can score the ball. So if he continues to get around 20 minutes, he is going to stand out as a good value. Just keep an eye on inactives. I'll post them on Reddit. Underdog, we don't get them before lock. Who's active, who's inactive for Memphis. I will post them on Reddit when we do get that news. Because it could change some plays here. Like they could randomly have Goodwin inactive. If Goodwin for some reason is inactive, then Scottie Pippen becomes a smash, etc. But yeah, I like this team. I like this team quite a bit. Lamar Stevens is even playable. So yeah, Pereira is getting run. 10-day contract guy. Yeah. All right, moving on to Detroit. Assuming Cade plays, I think he's one of the better mid-range plays on the slate. I really like Cade Cunningham. He's been turning it on of late. Minutes have been good when they aren't involved in blowouts either. Should play high 30s minutes in competitive games. He is dominating usage right now. Price has not moved. I'm really high on Cade Cunningham if he does play. Another guy I'm really high on is Jalen Duren as well. Just insane ceiling. Really good spot here going up against Memphis as well. Ivy's playable, but my least favorite of the top three. And then Metu, he's fine. Tosin's been starting, playable. Troy Brown started last game. Not going to play Troy Brown. Evan Fournier's been getting run. It's just absolutely disgusting. If I were to play a value out of anyone, it probably would just be Metu, I guess. Also keep an eye on Sasser. If he's in, that could change some things. So, yeah. Definitely some good plays in this game in general. Let's move on to Atlanta. Big news here is Jalen Johnson. If he's in, that's probably going to get me off Bruno Fernando because Jalen Johnson could just play backup 5, right? Bruno Fernando becomes a lot more riskier. Then it's going to be a downgrade to Capella. It's going to be a downgrade to Hunter. So like Capella would still be in play. Hunter would still be in play, but it is a downgrade. I probably wouldn't get to Bruno. Vit would be unplayable. The value would be unplayable. I still really like DeJounte Murray. Don't care it's a bad matchup going up against Chicago. His usage is just elite right now. So I'm still pretty high on DeJounte Murray. Jalen Johnson, if he's in, is playable. Bogdan Bogdanovic got a price hike. I think he's now at the price point to where he should be. And then we kind of went over the other guys if Capella or if Jalen Johnson is in. If Jalen Johnson's out, it just makes Bruno a solid value. Hunter, very safe. Capella, solid. Bog, playable, but no standouts even if Jalen Johnson is out. I think everyone's getting to the price point where they should be outside of like Capella and Hunter. I do think both are still a bit too cheap. Just this game environment up against Chicago is kind of bad. And then Vit will be playable for value. Moving on to Chicago, it's a back-to-back. Keep an eye on the injury report. See if they rest like an Io or a Caruso. I believe Io is dealing with like an illness. Yeah. But with that being said, if everyone plays, guys I'm really, really high on are DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, and Kobe White. I think at their price points, I think all three are very, very solid plays going up against Atlanta. I think if I had to rank them, it would be Vooch, DeMar, Kobe White, and that's point per dollar. That's point per dollar. Straight up, probably DeMar, Vooch, Kobe White. I think is priced right. I think I'd rather at that point just play like a guy like Kobe White. Alex Caruso, 5.8K is just very, very safe. Should play over 30 minutes. Stat sheet stuffer. It's a good matchup going up against Atlanta. It's just very, very safe. Andre Drummond, I don't know if I get to this value. And just keep an eye on it. It's a back-to-back. We'll see. Moving on to Phoenix, I think the main guys are okay. No standouts here. They're fine filler plays for me. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. They're going to dominate the usage. I think if I had to pick one, it probably would be Devin Booker. Bradley Beal at 6.8K, probably the easiest to get to, but I'm not going to go out of my way to play any of these guys. Nurkic at 6.6K. My worry here is both teams go small. So I don't know if Nurk really has a minute ceiling in this matchup. Kind of tricky there. If you think they go small, guys you want to look to that are playable are like Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen, Eric Gordon. But I don't think I'll be playing any of these guys. Moving on to the Pels. Brandon Ingram out. I love Zion. I love CJ. I like the spot for both. Going up against Phoenix, I think both look great here. I still think both are too cheap. I'm really, really high on both Zion and CJ McCollum. Trey Murphy is very, very good as well at 6.4K, playing huge, huge minutes, good rebounder, going to shoot the ball a ton. Herb Jones is playable, but I prefer Trey Murphy. Larry Nance is getting more run of late. I think this is a better spot for Nance, especially if the Suns go small as well. Najee Marshall should see around 20 minutes, playable value. And then with Dyson back, I'm not touching Jordan Hawkins or Dyson. So hopefully you guys had a good night. Hopefully you had a good Easter, and I will talk to y'all in the next video.